When an old opportunity becomes active again, many businesses assume that previous interest is still valid. The lead replies, a conversation restarts, a meeting is accepted, and the case quickly returns to the active pipeline. But renewed contact does not automatically mean renewed qualification. The opportunity may still remember the problem. It may still recognize the value. It may even sound more open than it did before. But the conditions that once made the opportunity promising may no longer exist. The budget may have changed. The decision process may be different. The original urgency may have disappeared. The person returning may no longer have the same influence. Or the business itself may now be solving the problem in another way. That is why re-engaged opportunities must be qualified again. Not because the old context is useless. The old context is valuable. But context is not proof. Past interest can help the business restart with better understanding. It cannot guarantee that the opportunity still deserves the same confidence, priority, or pipeline position. A stronger system keeps the history, but tests the present. It asks whether the problem still matters, whether the timing is now real, and whether movement is actually possible. Because a returning opportunity should not regain trust simply because it is returned. It should regain trust because current evidence now supports it.
This distinction matters because re-engaged opportunities often receive too much confidence too quickly. The business remembers that the case once looked strong. It remembers the meetings, the interest, the positive signals, and the work already invested. So when the opportunity returns, that old confidence can return with it. But confidence should not be inherited without verification. The business still needs to know what has changed since the opportunity went quiet. Why is the conversation restarting now? What created new movement? What condition is different? What evidence suggests that the old barrier is no longer controlling the outcome? Without those answers, the opportunity may only be active on the surface. The contact has resumed, but the decision has not become stronger. The lead is visible again, but readiness is still uncertain. That is where pipelines start becoming misleading. A returning case can receive priority because it feels familiar. It can move ahead of newer opportunities because the business already knows it. But familiarity is not qualification. A stronger system does not confuse the two. It uses prior knowledge to ask better questions, not to skip necessary questions. That is the advantage of requalification. The business does not restart blindly, but it also does not assume that the past still describes the present. It carries forward what it knows, then tests whether that knowledge still matches reality. Only then should the opportunity regain serious confidence inside the active pipeline.
Requalification also protects the business from relying on outdated assumptions. An opportunity may return with the same company name, the same contact, and the same general problem, but the environment around that problem may have changed completely. New priorities may have appeared, internal resources may be lower, leadership may be different. The decision may now involve more people than before. Or the original need may still exist, but no longer be important enough to create action. This is why historical information must be treated as a starting point, not as a final conclusion. The business should use what it already knows to make the new evaluation faster, but it should still confirm whether the opportunity fits the current situation. Does the problem still create a meaningful cost? Is there a real reason to act now? Is the decision process understood? Are the necessary people involved? Is there enough commitment to support another serious attempt? These questions are not repetition. They are protection. They prevent old assumptions from entering the current pipeline as if they were fresh evidence. A stronger system preserves continuity without preserving false confidence. It remembers the opportunity, but it does not freeze the opportunity in time. Because the value of history is not that it removes the need for qualification. The value of history is that it helps the business qualify more intelligently the second time.
This also changes how the opportunity should move through the pipeline. A re-engaged case should not return automatically to the stage it occupied before. That stage reflected an earlier moment, an earlier level of confidence, and earlier conditions. Those conditions may no longer be valid. The opportunity may need to move backward first, not as a punishment, as a correction. The business may need to confirm the problem again, rebuild the decision map, recheck urgency, and understand whether a real next step now exists. Only after that should the case move forward. This prevents the pipeline from showing progress that has not actually been earned. Because when an old opportunity returns directly to an advanced stage, the system starts carrying historical momentum as if it were current momentum. That creates false strength. The pipeline looks healthier. The case looks closer. The forecast feels more credible. But the evidence underneath may still be weak. A stronger system allows re-engagement without allowing automatic advancement. It welcomes the returning opportunity, preserves the old context, and then places the case where current evidence belongs. That may be earlier than the business expected, but that is better than protecting an old stage that no longer represents reality. Requalification is not only about asking questions again, it is about making sure the pipeline position matches what is true now.
A useful requalification process does not need to be complicated. It needs to confirm the few conditions that make real movement possible. Is the problem still active? Has its importance increased, decreased, or stayed the same? Is there a clear reason why the opportunity returned now? Does the lead have the authority, resources, and internal support needed to continue? And is there a credible next step that both sides are willing to take? These questions create a new evidence base. They help the business separate genuine renewed potential from temporary curiosity. Because not every returning lead is returning to buy. Some are gathering information. Some are reviewing alternatives. Some are responding because circumstances changed slightly, but not enough to support a decision. Others may be genuinely ready to move forward. The pipeline should not treat all of these situations equally. That is why requalification must affect priority, stage, and follow-up intensity. A case with strong current evidence may deserve active attention. A case with weak evidence may deserve lighter monitoring. And a case without a real next step should not return to the active pipeline at all. This creates discipline without losing opportunity. The business remains open to renewed movement, but it does not let every reply become a new source of false confidence. A returning opportunity becomes valuable only when present conditions justify present action. The real purpose of requalification is not to create more friction. It is to protect attention. Every active opportunity competes for time, follow-up, analysis, and operational focus. If returning cases can re-enter without current proof, they begin consuming those resources before they have earned them. That affects more than one opportunity. It changes the balance of the entire pipeline. Strong new cases may receive less attention. Weak returning cases may remain active for too long. And the business may start believing that old opportunities are producing new momentum when they are only producing new activity. A disciplined system prevents that confusion. It keeps the value of previous conversations. It keeps the history of the problem. It keeps the lessons from the first attempt. But it does not allow that history to replace present qualification. The opportunity must still show that the problem matters now, that the conditions support movement, and that a meaningful next step exists. That is what earns a real return to the pipeline. Not familiarity, not previous interest, not the amount of effort already invested. Current evidence. Because re-engagement should make the business more informed than before. It should never make the business less disciplined simply because the opportunity feels familiar. A returning opportunity should never regain its old confidence automatically. Its history should make the new evaluation smarter, not unnecessary. Keep the context, test the present, and allow the opportunity to move forward again only when current evidence shows that the conditions for real progress now exist.